What's going on, man? That was finna call Pi Benny right now. So we can get into this. What's going on it? I guess whoever else out there.
Sorry, I'm here.
Yeah, good. Can y'all hear him in the chat? Can you hear him? On it, the pro-black perspective, can you hear him?
Good evening, I'm here.
Yeah, can you hear me, Pi Benny?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, that's good. I was just trying to see if the person in the chat, if they could hear us, whoever out there, can y'all hear us? Okay, yeah, they can hear you. They can hear you. What's going on? How you doing today? What's going on, forecast? What's going on, Pi Benny? How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Where I am up in these mountains, it's cold. I'm not going to lie. Not as warm as it's down there where you guys are, but I'm hanging in there.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. It's 70 degrees here today.
No, I'm not going to even try to lie. These 70 degrees up in these woods.
Yeah,
No. If I was where you were, I said, I'm living the life.
Yeah. So look, everybody, we wanted this week to be a question and answers. So do y'all have any questions, or do Pi Benny, or do Pi Benny need to talk about African spirituality some more? So then y'all can come up with y'all questions in the process of him going through and teaching.
Let me say this. African spirituality, as it really is multifaceted. It's not one particular thing. It's like an octopus. It stretches all over. Just today, and for those who are interested, and they're welcome to have some or share some, or rather purchase some. I just received a package, box, whatever you want to call it, from Nigeria, and it had some of the soap that Bakari has. It has one that, how can I say, blessing soap. It has some money soap, stuff that really cracks through your aura or what's holding things like that. We use over there, as I use over here, so many different things to maintain your body, which is the temple. You know, we can talk about a spirit, but if the temple's not good, and it's whatever you want to call it, and however you want to look at it, it's like it doesn't work. It's not balanced. Okay, so I'm just opening that up, to let you know that along with the things that I talk about, are things to help remedy the things that we all have to deal with on an everyday basis. I won't say remedy, I'll say assist to improve what we deal with on an everyday basis. Okay? There's no quick fix, but there's always things to make things a lot better. I can speak for that. Gar and so many others can speak about it, for it, and say, yes, it's alive and well. So I'm going to talk about something. I don't want you to think I'm just saying something off the top of my head or blowing smoke anywhere on your anatomy, so to speak. But if you have any questions you'd like to ask me, I will answer them to the best of my ability. And if I don't know the answer, I'll be sure to have them for you, the answer for you next week.
Yeah, because this will be a weekly. This will be a weekly podcast. So let's just teach them about some of the things that what you were just talking about, soaps, and let's discuss the soaps and sacrifice and all you know.
Okay, well, soaps, anything you do to help yourself is a sacrifice. It doesn't necessarily have to be a blood sacrifice, even though that's the top. When I say blood, everybody goes, well, those of us who still eat meat. I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm going to say it like that. Those of us who eat meat, you go to the butcher shop or go to the supermarket, you pick a chicken, or you like your chicken fried. How you like your chicken? Or I'm not eating pork no more. You like lamb? Okay. Whatever meat you decide you want to eat for dinner or have it at whatever feast, that animal has to give up the ghost, as I call it. That is also, those animals have to be, their lives have to be taken. And the way we do that in E4, the Yoruba tradition, and most African traditions, you pray over what you do. You pray over the animal before you take its life. Now, a lot of these folks up here that don't know anybody, they just go ahead and take the animal out and be done. I remember when I used to eat chicken. I don't eat chicken anymore, but I still have to use it for a lot of the work I do. And I go to the poultry shop, and two funny things happen. It wasn't funny, but two different things happen. One, I'd always look at the bird. I'd pick out my bird. I'd look at him. I'd touch him. I'd hold his head, almost like meditating with him. That's not something anybody told me to do. This is before I got involved with IFA. And I told him, okay, go ahead. Now, that was my way of connecting. Unbeknown, that's what's done. The only thing is more, it goes more intense than that. But I wanted to make a connection with the animal. Second of all, a lot of times we look at people and we try to understand their ways and we don't understand their customs. They're all relatively the same. But a Hasidic man wasn't even a Hasidic Jew. He was in the poultry store also. And he looked at me like, what are you doing here? And I looked at him like, what are you doing here? Because to be, if you want to say to be prejudiced or to be righteous, or whatever word you want to call it, all of this belongs to us. We have been miseducated and uneducated in how to protect ourselves and how to live. And we wonder why, generation after generation, we keep going across the same monkey bridge, going through the same troubles that all of our grandparents are going through and whomever. They made us forget who we are. They made us forget on purpose. Because if you forget who you are and what you are and what you're about, you don't know which way to go. What they could not take from any black person is the power of rhythm. And the understanding, if you haven't been too brainwashed, there's a supreme being. Now, you might call him Jehovah, you might call him God, you might call him Jesus, you might call him Ogundabade, you might call him Rubila. I mean, it goes on and on, the names that you might call him. But he's still there. And your spirit knows it. Your higher self knows it. The better part of you. A lot of us live in denial and say, I don't know about all of that. Man, you're talking beyond me. And I look at him. Am I really? And if I hit on a few notes, like I'm playing a piano, and it depends upon how I'm talking to the person about what. Sometimes I might come across with numerology, because I do that also. And I'll start talking to him about his name, his birthday, and this, that, and that. Wow, man, you got it, you got it. No, when you study things, you understand things, you learn about things, and therefore you're able to present it to someone so it's palatable, and you should learn how to understand and live it yourself. It's that simple. One might say and I never understood the word geek until I got older. Man, you this, you that, and you the other. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Not a geek, a nerd. That's a better word. I'm a nerd. It just means that you have, or I have put myself, I've dedicated myself to, as they say, you've dedicated yourself to your craft. They get very, I say, highfalutin with the words and definitions. And I don't look at it like that. I'm just living life. Things I like to do. Simple as that. Take away the negativity and all the superficial words and the words of, make yourself look good and think good, and people will make a big to-do over. No, I'm not. If I'm a nerd, then I'm a nerd. With this African spirituality, you've been doing it all of your life. If you live in the South, I'm sure there's things that you've done that you don't even know why you've done or why grandma did it. And this is what we talk about, question and answer, or everybody contribute to the conversation. We're having dinner right now. We're having a meal. And I might be serving up some stuff that might make sense, and someone said, "Yeah, it makes sense." Well, if it makes sense, then you bring your pot. Because I talk about things don't mean I know everything. Or I give you a better one. I have a friend of mine who lives in North Carolina, and my grandmother who raised me is from South Carolina, and she'd always talk about a dumb Dora. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of a dumb Dora.
No, I haven't.
You haven't? Okay. Well, I could, me, I have a memory going back, I don't know, seemingly like an elephant. Okay, I remember things. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not so good, but I remember things. And I said to him one day, I said, Liz, I said, have you ever heard of the word dumb Dora? He said, yeah, Pa. I said, well, what is it? Because I remember my grandmother talking about it. That was years ago. Some of y'all might haven't even been here. Had got here, my grandmother talking about to me about a dumb Dora. He said they used to talk about it's a doll, and it didn't speak about nothing. The doll's name was Dora. They called it a Dora, and it just sit there. So people refer to it as a dumb Dora.
A dumb Dora. That's my first time hearing that.
And I said, oh, okay. A lot of times, we talk about spirits and things going into things and having a problem, this, that, and the other. The honest people make dolls, but they don't make them with eyes, nose, ears, and mouth, and all them different things. Because spirits go into dolls. I don't know if many of you have gone to a religious store and you see dolls, all kind of things in a religious store. And a lot of times you go there and look and you don't know what it is and people don't explain. It's almost like going into a museum of sort. And sometimes you'll see somebody pick something up and get this, that, and and you might ask them and they might tell you as well as they might not. And you still sit up there and don't know. So I'm going to say to you, don't have dolls. Don't give dolls, because spirits, bad spirits, can go into dolls. I remember my first godmother gave me a doll. She had me buy a doll, sit on my bed to protect me. So she said, it protects me. I don't know how well it's protecting me, but it would stop stuff from coming in. But at the same time, it wasn't the best of things. Everybody, like I said, have their own thing and their own belief. So I'm not trying to change somebody's belief. I'm always trying to impart some extra knowledge. If you have a bedroom, and most of us do, and you're married or you're with somebody or however that arrangement might be, and you have a mirror in your room, make sure you cover it. I've said it last week, make sure you cover the mirror up. Don't leave the mirror open, because the mirror is a portal, a pathway, a doorway, whatever word you want to put there. And things do go back and forth, whether you see them or not, and they will and can cause you problems. The There's so many things you need to put in your house. It's not even funny. To keep you hear the word feng shui. Well, that's an Oriental word, but it applies.
Excuse me. I don't mean to cut you off, Pi Benny. I have two questions I'm gonna ask Onis first, then I'm gonna ask Miss Me second. If that okay, if you got time, you want to finish saying what you're saying, go ahead.
No, go right ahead.
Okay. Oni, from the pro-black perspective, he asked, what's a good proof for a supreme being?
What's a good proof?
Yeah, he said, what's the proof of there being a supreme being?
I can't give you one. Supreme being is a belief. See, again, we've been taught to be so intelligent that we start to challenge, and it's all right to challenge. There is a supreme being. You know, some of us understand it from a scientific point of well, we have oxygen, and we've broken it down, and we have a belief in the how can I say in science, and we don't understand if there's a God and how is a God. What does that have to do with it? I can't answer about being any proof. It's about your belief. Okay? It's about one's chosen path, what you choose to believe and what you don't choose to believe. I can't give you any proof except for the fact that you have life in your body and you're moving and you're doing this, that, and the other. Things can occur, reoccur, or things can happen. You have to be, if you believe or if you've read the book or heard the story about Paul on the road to Damascus, I think it was Paul, and he learned about the Christ or the supreme being of the God or whatever on the road to Damascus, where he was blind and he had to find his way, if I'm remembering correctly. That's something each and every person, each and every individual has to come across that to believe if there's a supreme being. I cannot speak for God. I can only be this priest that I am and speak the way about the things that I understand and I believe. But to tell you the proof, I can say, all right, get a glass of water. Get a clean glass of water. And if you see bubbles come in it, that means there's a good spirit. And if you don't see any bubbles come in it, little beads come in, then there's not a good spirit around you. That's still not answering your question about being a supreme being. I don't have an answer for you on that
one. Okay, now I have one more. Miss Me want to know if you can speak about the Orishas. It's not really a question. She want to know if you can speak on the Orishas.
So does she have any particular one, or just all of them?
Okay, Miss Me, is there any particular Orisha, or you just wanting to speak on all of them? If I'm quite sure you heard him. I'm repeating like you can't hear him. He just can't see with y'all because he on the phone.
She want to hear about all of them?
I'm waiting on an answer. It's a delay from YouTube to. So we're gonna figure out how to get you on here, then you'll know.
Okay. I don't want any dead time.
Yeah, I know you don't want any dead time, so just speak on them, and I guess she'll eventually answer.
Okay. Listen, Orisha, they come from the heavenly gods. They come down. It was sent down by Ogundabade to guide people. They are 16 major Odu, so to speak, which are Orisha. But basically, there are more Orisha, more Odus than we know that even exist. And the Orisha have many pathways. But I'm going to talk about the ones I think people mostly are aware of. Let's start with Oshun. Oshun is a goddess of love. Okay? She brings prosperity, money. She brings love, yes. At the same time, she knows how to fight. For her children, she will fight. Things that you give her, I don't know if she wants to know the things you give the Orisha to help you. Oshun you can go to with anything. You can go to her before you can go to Eshu. Because Oshun is Eshu's mother. Okay? So here we go. You can give her oranges. If you're going to give her honey, make sure you look at honey before you even offer to, because somebody's already tried, people have tried to poison her, and she doesn't take it. If you give her honey without you tasting first, she's going to look at you and laugh. She's going to turn her head away. Okay? Oshun. Oshun, you sacrifice honey, things that are gold, things that are yellow. She takes, now, let's say the young lady wants something done or needs something done or wants some blessings or whatever. And she can't do this because she hasn't been initiated. So she might say, Pa, what can you do? I'm going to be able to give Oshun something. Something is not right with my love life. So I'm not just not going to blatantly go and say, hey, Oshun, this lady wants you to do so and so and so and so. Is it okay? So she'll say, well, have you checked it out? I said, yeah, let me check and see. So she said, yeah, I'll take 2 hens, some palm oil, and some rum. I said, okay. Now, before I do that, before you go to any Orisha, you must go first to Eshu. Before you go to anything in the pantheon, you must go to Eshu. Now, the connection between, there's no real connection, but what they lied to us about or told us the untruth, that you must first go to Jesus in prayer. He'll answer everything. Truth of it is, in that time for Africa, there were no J's, no Jesus. There was Eshu and Egba. So they took they put a J on one side and a E on the other, or S on the other, and they didn't find the word Jesus. And the same story they talk about Eshu to give it to Jesus, and it's so palatable. It sounds so good. It sounds so real because part of it's so real. That's what you believe. So then, okay, then we got to go to Eshu. What does Eshu want? Eshu say, I want Lucy before I help this lady. She got some heavy problems. I said, she want 1 or 2. You want to give her 1 or 2? And he'll look again. That's the Opele I'm talking about. Looking, I have to cast the chain. I said, okay, here we go. Eshu say he wants 2 roosters, palm oil, and some rum. Okay? And a little bit of this and a little bit of that if I have it. I said, okay. So I do that. And this lady that we're talking about right now said, well, how are you going to do that for me and I'm not here? Because I have, what do you call it? I have an altar that has Eshu right there that I got all the stuff I got from Africa. I didn't go to the store to buy it. Okay? I got this stuff here, these things here, these original here. I just can't say things or stuff. That's being disrespectful. I have all the original right here that I work with in my home. So I said, okay, this is what we're going to do. Eshu gets 2. And how I do that, I call her name. Okay, I need a government name because you don't know nicknames. I said, okay, that's going to be that. And then I'm going to go to Oshun and give her the, Oshun is going to take 2 hens, or she's going to take a she-goat, female goat, depending upon what she wants to be done. And then I'll do that. And that'll be that. And the lady there where you talk from, I said, what do you mean that'll be that? That's it. The fact of it is, everything, understand what I'm going to say to you next. But anything you do, anything you have to have done by me, or you go to the store to buy something, anything you have to communicate good for, the transfer of that is money. So I'll tell you how much it will cost. And you might say, well, for that kind of money, I want to see it. I said, all right, you're welcome to come to New York. And you said, New York? I said, sure. If I do it here and you don't see it, and I'm doing it because I'm not going to lie on myself to the Orisha, it's done. And then all of a sudden you start to see little changes, like little ping, ping, little light go on, little this, that, and the other, little this, that, and the other. You say, wow, that's how it's done. Or I could say, if you don't want to do it like that in the beginning because you really don't know me, I said, why don't you order some soap? Get something to wash with, and I'll open the door for all the Orisha. Open the door for Ogun, Okay, you might have to be fighting with somebody, or Ogun will protect you from accidents and car accidents and all kinds of silliness like that. That's Ogun. But to expedite things, you might have to go to Shango. Shango, he moves everything fast. He's a fast guy. He's a dancer. He's a party guy. He moves and moves and moves. Okay? And then serious stuff, you might have to go to Ifa himself. Okay, and I said, okay, I have to go to Ifa. Ifa says I have to come to him because these other guys can handle it, but I have to go to Ifa, because that stuff is very serious. Then something else might come up with court, dealing with white folks. Oh, I have to go to Obatala because he's head of all Orisha. Then you have other things you might need, which call for Yemaya or Obatala. They also bring financial security, certain things that you might need that balance in your life. So when you talk about the Orisha, they're all included, and sometimes they work together, and sometimes some will sit on the side. But with the Orisha Eshu or Elekbara, he's the first one you always have to go to. Always. But Oshun is the one that will listen to you. She'll listen to you. Okay, she will listen. There's a song by I think the Beatles called Mother Mary. I can't remember all the words. It's going back a bit. Let's talk about Oshun. So if you're here in the 60s or the 70s or the 80s, or if your parents were here and they played that old music, whatever, you've heard things about the Orisha in it. Songs that they were singing. The songwriters and the singers were not really singing about them particularly, but they were singing about them because they were being so spiritually inspired. Any of you ever saw some of the old movies of I Love Lucy on the television? And Ricky Ricardo was playing that song. He's singing about Babalu. Babalu, that is an Orisha.
I have heard him say something about that. I have a couple of more questions for you whenever you're ready for the next ones.
I'm ready.
Okay. I didn't want to interrupt you while you were teaching. Let me get them right quick. This coming from Bawana Hagaziki. He said, "How did?" It's a couple questions I'm gonna ask him. This like, how did you become a Babalawo? Did you have to go to Nigeria? And how does one qualify to be a Babalawo? Then I have another one after you answer those. If you need me to repeat it, I will repeat it.
Yeah, okay, let me answer. Okay, I think of the three part. I remember two of them. Well, anyway, the most important part is you do have to go to Nigeria. I mean, some people go to Puerto Rico, so I've been told. Some people go to Cuba, so I've been told. Now, this is what I've been saying, so I've been told. I got my money together. I took myself and my youngest son to Nigeria. Got on the plane, stopped off in Paris, got on another plane, and went to Nigeria. And when I got to Nigeria, if they told me I couldn't come back, I've been all right. But I was very comfortable. It was like I was looking around, things that I hadn't seen for such a long time. Because we all come back and forth. But my eyes were soaking it up, but I had to remember not to speak or ask questions and sound like we do here because we all have been, how can I say, traumatized or put to a situation where we think like white people. We don't think we do, but we do. We've been orientated to think and act like he thinks and act. And you have to check yourself and your ego at the door before you get on that plane. Because we're not better than them. They're wiser than we think they are. And I don't even like to use the word they, because we all are one people. But yeah, get back on track. I had to go to Nigeria to become a true Babalawo. And that's just the initiation. You learn, you keep learning throughout your life. There's things about Ifa I do not know, so therefore I have been initiated for over 25 years. I call and I talk to the guys over there. things that I'll never know unless they tell me, explain to me. And I was very fortunate to find a Babylon that's also an herbalist. See, there's many roads to this word, Ifa. He's an herbalist, and he deals with plants and herbs and making potions. That's how I was able to get these soaps. And all of them are good. But the first one he sent me, or one of the recent ones I'll say, that I've been selling as of recent, it's so good that I don't leave, as I say, I don't leave home without taking the shower. He's that good. And you have to know him for a while for him to, even myself really, let me say, because we talk like I'm talking now. And we talk and we talk and we talk, and I exchange ideas and thoughts and what have you. And we have, it's a brotherhood within a brotherhood that he and I have. Because I said to him one time, and I'm making another story just to show you the closeness we have. I was talking about beans. So I said, you eat beans? He said, yeah, Bob, I eat beans. So I said, well, how do you fix them? He said, you put them in water and boil them. I said, no. He said, no? I said, no, not at first. I said, soak them first in some baking soda. I said, don't you get gas when you eat your beans? He said, yeah, that's the problem, but the beans are good for you. I said, soak them in baking soda overnight, and the foam will come up. I said, and then you wash them about 5 or 6 and wash them real good, so you don't taste that nastiness of the baking soda. He said, I did that, Bob. I washed them 10 times, and they cook even faster, and they taste good. So that's how I fix my beans now. So it's a camaraderie. We talk to one another. So I'm still learning. When I get on the phone, I teach a little bit. And I mean, I talk to, it's conversation. But there's things that you wouldn't believe that exist on the planet. And I only get good things to help people, or I'll get things that if you have a powerful enemy, somebody that's really working your nerves, I mean, really, there's things that calm them down, but I don't take their life. Okay. As a Babalawo, you have to use judgment. And you got something to take, you don't care. So the qualifications of becoming a Babalawo or a priestess or whatever, to be initiated, is money. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Go back to square one. It's money, because that's all they have. That's their job. If I get something, I say, so. That's my job. If I tell you, okay, you got a problem, I'm not going to solve it for nothing. That's my job. But at the same time, where is this problem going to go to now? I got to deal with that monster, that monkey, whatever it is that was bugging you. I got to defer it. So don't come looking at my face. Because of the spirit. You might walk over and say, oh, I feel so good. Oh, that was wonderful. Well, where'd it go? Went somewhere. And the problem that you have wasn't a figment of your imagination either. But it was like any woman that's had a child or children to give birth. Because mind you, I don't know, I'm just using this as an example. That's giving birth. That's a hell of a thing to go through. They'll never forget that. But lo and behold, this one have 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 kids. Well, shit, you must have forgot something. No, it means that you're all right for that time. You go through whatever for that time, and after that, you heal and you come back to yourself. But when you're going through whatever, you're going through, you want to figure out what to do with it. Okay?
Yeah.
And there's so many things. When it comes to that, what you do, that's not even funny.
I have another question for you when you're ready.
I'm ready.
From the same person, but Bwana Hagaziki. He said, are these Orishas attracted to a certain human, like personalities? So are they attracted to people based on their personalities?
How about you are the Orisha yourself? Two of them come down at least with you when you're born. You have personalities, you have things. Let's put it like this. one of the researchers with me over soon, and I can't stand oatmeal. I don't like those no slimy, slippery food. How about that? And you can't give her any either. I don't like pumpkin. I remember when I was a kid, I liked sweet potato, and sweet potato and pumpkin pie looked so alike. Pumpkin pie is a little darker and tastes a little different. And come find out that pumpkin belongs over soon. That's why I didn't care for it. She doesn't like dark things. You might tell us like she might not like dark things, or she might not like black coffee. She might not like coffee, or she might like coffee with a lot of cream or whatever. So things that she might be handy around the house. She might be like a little carpenter. She might be the one to put everything together. Certain personality she has that she doesn't know she has would be indicative of that particular region. So at least two of them are with you all the time. Sometimes they call guardian angels or guides or whatever. They got a lot of names for a lot of things over here instead of telling the truth. Because the truth has now been told for so long, it has been forgotten. That's why I can come here and speak to you about these truths, and you find them to be interesting, fascinating, and you'll start to question, but I'm not lying to you, and it's going to find its way to some part of you. Attraction, that attraction, I'll give you another thing that I was attracted to back in the day. I don't know how many of you all have heard of Babatunde Olatunji, Drums of Passion. Look it up on your, Google. Look them up on, look them up on your computer, YouTube. Babatunde Olatunji. And you listen to them singing Drums of Passion. No, it's a Drums of Passion album. And the first song on it was Akiwawa Alakaye. And when I first heard that song, and I was very young when I heard it. It seemed like yesterday, but I listened to that song and it would stop me in my tracks. And I listened to him today like I heard him that many years ago. He's talking about and singing about Ogun Olakaide.
What's his name again?
His name is Olatunji. Olitiji. Somebody Olatunji. Drums of Passion. And he'll sing that one, Akiwawa Alakaye. And when I found out about 25 to 30 after I heard the music that he was talking about Drayman song. And that's Ogun. So for so long I was attracted to Ogun. I found out recently, well, not recently, well, it's relatively recent, that the Central Park in New York was once called Stuyvesant Town, and that was a place where black folks lived, owned Central Park, until the government took it from black people and made it Central Park. Okay? As a child, I used to go to Central Park with what? My first dog. What was my first dog? A black dog. And that belonged to Ogun. So in my Ifa, when they initiated me Ifa, Ogun come to me and said, he's part of me. Oshun and Oshun, Ogun, and another one came and said, this is mine. I mean, that was theirs. Obatala. Okay? And every Saturday, or time I take myself with my black dog to Central Park. I'd walk from 59th Street to 110th Street and back. That was my day to myself. And where do I live now? In the doggone woods of New York State. I come into the land of Ogun. That's where I moved. I came up here to raise my youngest child. But the city was too much. There was too much going on down there. I couldn't see him being ravished by that craziness down there. So again, I made a move. I was able to afford to make that move, and I came up here in the woods, up along with the Orisha, and the Orisha supported me.
Okay.
When I say support me, I've been doing this work for a long time.
I haven't. Bawana want to know. I think he's the only one that got questions. Bawana want to know. Have you ever been to Oyatunji? I can't ever say it right.
No,
Oyatunji Village in South Carolina. Yeah.
No, I haven't. No. Somebody else wanted to know, should they go there? And I said, you can visit whoever you want. I said, but if you want to know the real deal, truth, go to Nigeria. Again, there are no shortcuts. I'm saying this for this reason. I don't want to talk bad about anybody. If you follow my drift, I don't want to speak bad about so-and-so, that this is counterfeit and that's not this. The gentleman who started it, he went to Nigeria. I forget his name now. I think he's an ancestor now. He went to Nigeria and he came here and he started his own. But it's nothing like going back to where it all really began, because you're only going to get half step, second step, and you're not going to get the real deal going there. I put it like that. I'll be nice about that. Yes, I've heard about it. I have. I told a wife, I said I had. But I went to Nigeria. I wasn't going to treat myself. I wasn't going to go someplace where it wasn't genuine. Certain things you just can't do here that you did. Orisha, Ifa, all that was born right there in Nigeria. Benin and Nigeria. Across the street or down the road, I'm just being funny now, there's Ghana. Two different ways of doing things, but still got to go to Mother Africa. I took myself to the rough spot, Nigeria. Yes, I did.
So I've been planning to visit. Would it be okay to? Is it a good place to visit?
To visit where? South Carolina.
Yes.
You can if you want to.
Yeah.
I can't tell you stuff. You better not. I would not tell somebody what they should and should not do. I'll simply say to be mindful. I'll put to you what I've done. I've been with Haitian folks, a Haitian guy, I don't know where he is now, and he somewhat initiated me into his pantheon of what do you call Esli Dante and Esli Frida. One with the silver ring, one with the gold ring. I guess that Frida was Oshun, and Esli Dante, that was Yamaja, I guess. But he could only do so much. He could only do so much. What he said he said to me one time, he said, "Pa, what I'd really like to do is go to Africa." And this is what I'm saying. I wish I'd go to Africa and marry a princess or a daughter of one of those babalawos over there. I'd be in like flame. Now, if his stuff was so good, why would he want to do that? And Haitian guys have asked me, straight up, who is your God? Because you can see on me or someone who has been initiated, it's not a sign. It's not. It's something that you see on a person. I don't know how else to describe it. You see a presence. I've had an Orthodox Jew one time ask me or say to me, "Oh, you take care of yourself." And me being the dummy, again, I leave my ego wherever it need be. I don't walk around with it hanging on my head or around my shoulders like a shingle. See, I don't smoke or drink. Oh, stupid me. He said, no. I mean, you take care of yourself. And I looked at him, I said, I said, yeah. And that was in our conversation. Because whatever he saw on me spiritually, he could see that it was good. A lot of people have said that to me. I don't see it, because I'm with myself. But I do know after I get finished washing and doing it, this, that, and the other, I walk out that door, as especially when I'm ready for Freddie. I'm ready for whatever and whoever is there. And I say, whatever. I don't walk with fear. I don't own no guns. I don't own no knives. But to answer your question, if you want to, if you want to fact find, you can come back and say, well, Biden, they said so-and-so, they said so-and-so, so-and-so. Just like the gentleman said to me earlier, asked the question earlier about basically, is there a God? How do I know? Or is there one? And then I just can only leave you with your belief and what you feel. That's all I can do. Because I don't know what else to do. I can present and share with what I have and tell you, okay, use this, do that, and the other. Does it work? But you see, people always in question and always want to know something, which they should be inquisitive. But there are no shortcuts. I can say, listen, give me X amount of dollars, we're going to Nigeria. Oh man, that's too much money. Okay, oh, what's your life worth? Man, I ain't giving you that money. You just talking. I said, okay.
Hey, Public, I have a question, right? I have someone in the chat that's me and him cool. He don't want to ask this question. But what can I do for somebody that's just hard headed and don't want to listen? This is for forecast, because he's just hard headed.
Hard headed want respect.
Huh?
When you say hard headed want respect.
Just don't like to listen. He's just hard headed.
Then that's it. Then that's his that's what until forecast want to learn to pay attention and listen. He's gonna have to walk with that. All you can do is hope to God, pray to God nothing happen to him.
He said he didn't say nothing. I know you didn't say nothing, forecast, but you're still hard headed. So I just had to ask the question for you because you don't want to ask. Now that's my buddy. I be messing with him. When he do his lives, he be messing with me.
Well, let me ask you a question. What's Forecast's birthday?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I just be messing with him, Pop Ben, and he just be. I mean, he do his lives. He mess with me too. We cool like that. We cool like that.
Okay.
Now we cool like that.
Okay.
Bawana, what I would do, Bawana, somebody's asking for your information, Pop Ben. What I'm gonna do, Bawana, I'm gonna shoot it to you on a Cash App, not Cash App, my bad, on WhatsApp. And you text him and tell him you got it from me, and then y'all talk. All right, I'm gonna shoot it for you. I'm gonna shoot it to you. And if anybody wants his information, hey, but why don't want to know about people born on November 7th?
November who?
7th.
November the 7th. Okay, that person might be okay. There's a few things. Person probably a very private person. They are their own best friend. They don't need a whole lot of company. Might like to read, do a lot of research. I'd say they're pretty smart. Might be a good cook. But on the whole, very smart. That Scorpio is smart. And that particular Scorpio, as a lot of Scorpios have a feeling for the metaphysics that we're talking about, metaphysics. I would like to know more than they will reveal. But that person who asked the question want to know more than they're letting on to know or to ask.
Yeah, that's why he asked for your number. He said he want to have a
one-on-one. No problem.
Yeah. He said you wow. So, but Wanda, that's your birthday. Hey, so what about people born on January 10? Bob Bennett?
They're born leaders.
January 10.
Anybody born on the 10th, 1st, the 19th, or the 28th, they're number one. But that person born on number 10, that O behind their name, that one, that means they're walking. All of us walk with God, but that particular person is truly walking with the Creator. Very spiritual person. Want to be in charge. Definitely going to be a leader. Don't wait for somebody else to be their boss. They want to be their own boss. But once they understand what's going on, in fact, I had a co-worker. I use the word co-worker because I had a business and she worked with me, not for me, but I say with me. Her birthday was January the 10th. She was a beautiful, beautiful soul. She was really nice. And we got on like two peas in a pod. And in fact, she was my right hand. She was my right hand. She was loyal. I won't say to a fault, but loyal. And when she passed from this dimension, it bothered me. I didn't lay down and roll around and cry, but I stopped and I had to think. And I had a dream of her shortly after her passing, and she came to me and told me to kiss her on her cheek. She was older than me, but she was a beautiful soul. And she had a dream about me one day doing exactly what I'm doing. In other words, she saw me before I became initiated, and she gave me the dream. And to this day, that's what I'm doing now. Not that she dreamt it, but she saw me doing what I'm doing before I was, like I said before, I was initiated. She was born, she was good people. Good people. Once they get in your corner and are in your corner, they're good people.
You just at forecast say his birthday October 6th.
October the 6th is that's a genius.
Oh Lord, you shouldn't have used that word for him. He ain't gonna ever let that go. But go ahead, Bobby. Go ahead, Bobby.
No, I'm going to die. Listen, I gotta tell the truth. I don't know, because I don't know forecast. He walked up to me and came off the moon. I wouldn't know forecast because he said this to me. I said that for this reason. His key numbers are 639. It's artistic chord. Which artistic chord he probably can sing or either write, dance, cook, whatever he does in the arts, he masters it. Or maybe master it.
He writes.
Okay, I'll give you another but okay, if you're 639, 369, 96, any one of those three numbers, they all come together like that. If you're born in March, there's certain months that have that artistic chord. You look at Mariah Carey, March 27th. Mimi can sing her ass off. Mimi is, Mariah Carey. I'm just saying Mimi because that's what she calls herself. But I would look at that woman and I would not lust her, but she was just something about her. I kept looking at her. And it was about a good 40 years ago I started studying numerology. But I looked at her and I found out her birthday. Come to find out she has the same birthday as my mother. I said, I'll be damned. My mother loved music. Anybody born the 27th loved music. But we're talking about forecast. If he can write, he can play instrument. Anything forecast put his mind to do in the arts, he can do it. That's a fact.
We'll never hear the end of that one, Pop Benny. Never hear the end of that one.
Well,
but hey, look.
Listen, if I made my buddy feel good, I'm happy
we'll never hear the end of that. Hey, but won't you tell them again what that January 10 mean? One, walking with the creator and the leader. Won't you tell them? The leader forecast, the leader.
I'm gonna tell you something. The fact that you two are buddies. Listen to me. Listen to this now. The fact that you two are friends the way you all are, that in itself is a blessing because the 6 and the 1 are opposition numbers. It's like the 4 and the 1 are opposition to the 6. So that's the truth. The fact that you two are getting along the way you do, count that as a blessing. Really?
Okay. Hey, peace, Anthony, my brother. What's going on? Hey, right now we talking about the birthday. Put your birthday money in the chat, Anthony. Put your money day in the birthday. Everybody did this. We did. But Only didn't want to do his. He nailed Bawana. He hit Bawana on the head. Forecast want to be nailed on the head because he said somebody born on his day is a genius. But I think he mistaken with Forecast. But he nailed me on the head for sure. The leader, walk with the creator, don't like nobody to tell him what to do. Supposed to be in charge. entrepreneur.
You don't take over the world. Oh, that's why I said to you, this is your show, and I'm on your show, and that's it. And you tell me when to go and when to come. Even though I'm a firstborn child, and I've learned to play by myself, to be proud, because I was an only child for such a long time. I really don't need a lot of people to do what I do. But I understand that I need to be able to work with people. I don't do things by myself. I do by myself, but to get ahead, that's why you got two hands.
Okay. And we got one more. We got one more. My brother Anthony say February 24th.
Pisces in the house. That's another what do you call artistic chord. That person there, 24th, he'll always be able to recreate himself. If he should fall down today or tomorrow, he's not able to get back upright, or he'll be able to find a way to do it. He is also the artistic chord. Remember I said the 6, 3, and 9. Okay, Pisces, Taurus, and Aries, artistic chord. You have artistic chord if you are, what do you call it, Libra, Sagittarius, and Scorpio. All those in those months, those 6 months, if those numbers come up, your artistic chord. He is artistic chord. He's a Pisces. So he has to be concerned with his feet.
He has to be concerned with what?
His feet. F-E-E-T. Feet.
His feet.
He needs to wear good shoes. Don't be wearing funny shoes or cheap shoes. Wear good shoes.
Did he nail you? Did he get you? Did he get you? Did he get you too, Anthony? So I'm gonna tell y'all now, for everybody who say y'all study and want to know about African spirituality, so y'all just need to fall in line with the leader. How about that? Fall in line with the leader and follow y'all orders. That's what y'all need to do. Bawana, Forecast, Anthony, y'all Koku. He say Anthony say you got him down. You got him down pat.
Yeah.
Our matron say, what's going on, Queen? I didn't even know you was there. Good. I want to say it like you're glad that you're here, but your voice is so much better than mine. What is August the 13th?
August the 13th. One of the birthdays I won't forget. That's the number 4 Leo. That person is a dreamer. I say dream. Number 4 people dream. She's a Leo. She's very reserved. When I say reserved, very private. Unless we go by her last name, which I don't need. Because the people's last name also is part of what they go, that's part of the coat that they wear. Their first name, that also comes in the numerology. But the 13th, I would say that person is very studious, private. I say educated. Person's not, when I say not stupid, person knows how to pick up a book and read. Person knows how to pick up that kind of, how can I say, academia information. Let me say this to everybody. Those of us who are scholars, which I'm not, I've read books and I know how to read books. But academia, being a professor in school or whatever, that and spirituality, as a rule, do not keep good company. Because the spirit is not logic. Though you see me moving about, I'm Aquarius. It's not logic. It's about what you feel, what you know, and what comes through to you. Therefore, you have to let go and let God. Let go and let the spirit have its own way. If you try to be so educated and you're going to control it or control yourself when it's there, y'all don't make good bedfellows. Y'all don't make good drinking buddies either, because you don't have anything in common. Spirit is not about an education or what you know in school. Some of the smartest and the wisest people do not have that kind of education. Because when you're going by the logic of things, you're not going to listen. You're going to ask them. And there's nothing wrong. You guys come and ask questions. That's how I learned. Bob in Nigeria, I can ask him a question, in a heartbeat, but it's pertaining to that. It's not about a challenge. Not that anybody is challenging me. And if you do, you can, you want to, it's not a problem. But for me and he and I, it's not about me challenging. How do you know this? This, that, the other. I want to know more. I'm thirsty. I'm hungry. And I want to know. How come this? He said, Baba, so and so and so and so. He said, okay, I got a soap here. And this for, again, like to get away curses and this and that. And you get a soap to do this, that, and the other. And you have to make a sacrifice to the witches. You have to give to the witches. You got to do this. I mean, it's a job. It's not a little 1, 2, oh, I'm going to light a candle. Oh, don't get me wrong. I light a candle too. And don't sleep in a dark room either. And don't wear a whole bunch of dark clothes. Scorpio stuff, November 7th. If you're going to wear clothes, wear gray. Better still wear dark blue. If you're going to wear something dark, you just see yourself wear, maybe wear brown. But don't find yourself wearing a lot of black. You might be drawn to that, but that's not the thing to do. If you don't want to be seen and you want to be like Zorro, you can be incognito in plain sight, wear dark blue.
Okay. Hey, Matron, one of my best friends, one of my best friends' birthday is and she's watching right now. She said, "Wow, her birthday is the same as yours too, 8/13." So she was she was listening.
I didn't hear you.
No, I was talking to somebody in the chat. But you probably should have still heard me though. But but I was just telling Matron. But you know what you said about Matron? She opened a book and read. I'm gonna have to send you her channel because every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 7:00, she do book reading. She just did Carlos Cook's. Thank you, Matron, for learning me about Carlos Cook because I'm not gonna give him any more credit. Thank you very much. And her voice is perfect for book reading. Her voice is perfect.
Ask her if she heard of I Tatuvia, Black Witch of Salem.
She can hear you. Say it again. Did you understand what he said, Matron? She can hear you. Say it again. They can hear you.
I Tatuvia, Black Witch of Salem.
Have you ever, Matron? Have you ever? Well, I can't even say it. You got to keep saying it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be tongue tied.
I Tatuvia, Black Witch of Salem. That's the first one to come by. Okay. Then you have the Dahomia by Frank Yerby. Also by Frank Yerby, a darkness of Ingram Crest. If she likes to read, see, I know about reading now. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I can pick up a book and read too. I just don't do it that often. But her birth date will tell me that's what she likes to do. And she like quiet time to herself so she can walk through those pages. When she gets into those pages, she lives there. She's there. She also can dream a lot.
She said, yes, she's her. Man, I hate when I start stuttering. She said she has heard of that woman.
She's heard of that woman, that I Tatuvia?
Yeah.
Yeah. Black Witch of Salem. Yeah, I do my best. Now, I won't say I try to. The Spirit tries to round me in such a way that when I'm talking to people, the masses, I have something to contribute. At one time, where I work as a I work in a veterinarian's office as a dog room because I do this work here, spiritual work. But I am a dog fanatic. I love a dog. Trust me, I do. Since I was a little guy. Now again, that's Ogun. That's Ogun Babalu. Babalu is the one who's the dog's liquor. There's something wrong with him. Even now, my dog will come and lick my skin, lick my feet, what have you. That's Babalu I am. That's the other part of one part of me. And I would, just read, and understand all that I could. And I come upon, I was talking to this veterinarian, and he said, "What are you doing here?" This is a head vet. At this office, he came to this other veterinarian's office to do something. And I looked at the guy, and a voice came in my head, and I looked at him and I said, "You have walked with kings, but you have not lost the common touch." And if I were to open the book and say, "Oh, that white man," but I don't try to deal with people like that because that's the fabric of this country, the color of his skin. And it really shouldn't be, as Dr. King would say, it truly should be the content of your character. That's what it really should be. And he look at, although we're not, that is not the common, and he look at you, and he looked at me and said, "What are you doing here?" Like that. And I said, "What do you mean, what am I doing here? What are you doing in this office?" I said, "Well, this is where I am for now." I forget who wrote that song, that poem. If, by Kipling. That's who did it. If, by Rudyard Kipling. A two-letter word, if. And he did a whole dissertation about the word if. I just took out one of the phrases. I said, "What are you?" I said, "You have walked with kings, but you have not lost the common touch." And he knew what I was saying to him. He looked at me. Tell you August 13th, lady. Hey, Pasa, what's up?
I have another question for you, Pop Benny. Forecast would like to know, can we find our own ancestors, and if so, how? Your own personal ancestors, like your great great grandmama and great great granddad.
Okay, what you have to do then, not by what I'm doing. You'd have to. I met this guy, and he's well known, although he passed. Who wrote the book Roots? It back in '77. I don't know who was here in '77, but yeah, the whole week the Roots was on. You have to go to get one of these people that. Like when I come back next week, I'll tell you. There's a guy that come on Channel 13 up here, PBS, on Tuesday, and he goes follow he'll do ancestral, rich people. I guess he might do it. I don't know for anybody. I don't know, but that's a television show, and usually picks two people. You can go back through your DNA and see who you're related to. On my mother's side, I know there was a white man. There was a Jew, and I know his name, and he was a Strowman in South Carolina, Orangeburg. I don't know what team this guy is on. He's a Strowman. That's a baseball player. He's a young guy. And if he has last name Strowman, I put anything, any kind of dollar bill on the fact his people come from Orangeburg. And some kind of way I'm related to him. Because that's not a common name. Strowman. Okay? And on my father's side, they come from the Caribbean. And when I went to Africa, when I went to Nigeria, I saw a man. He looked so much like my father's people. I said my father's people. And my son that morning had a dream. He said, "Dad, you had an uncle named Arthur." I turned to my son. I said, "Yeah." I said, "He passed when I was, what, 5 years old." None of my kids were born because I wasn't thinking about making a baby at 5 years old. And I looked at him and he described them, how they wore clothes and how they looked back in those days, at that time. We went to a village, and I said, again, a man that looked like my father's people. And I was sitting there drinking the water, and the water fell over on the ground. When the water tipped over and fell on the ground, I stood up. Something possessed me like I was zombie. I've been walking to this man, tears running down my eyes, crying and sobbing. Oh my God. He opened his arms to me and said, my brother, I understand. That was an experience. I knew I was home. I knew I was home. There was no coincidence. Nothing in your life is coincidence, but find out who. I put it to you like this: some Babalawos are able to find out certain things where how can I say this was Afolabi Pega, Bobby Pega. I met him again back in the day, back in the '90s, and he was giving me a reading. I was at his place one day, and he stopped and he looked at me. He said, "When your mother was pregnant, two old men tried to become you." I said, "Really?" I said, I looked at him because I was looking at him. I said, "Whoa, I'm really interested. I know who I want it to be, but I didn't say anything. I couldn't. I said, who? Tell me who." He said, "Your father's father came into you." In other words, my mother's father wanted to come, but my father's father was older. I said, "Damn it, I knew it." Because they always used to say I look like Papa. My grandfather passed before I was born. My father was a little boy. I was about 10 years old when my grandfather passed. And he didn't have me until he was about 30. So I waited around that long before I found a chance to come through to my mother, to him. It's very funny. We pass through here and we meet. Sometimes we're on the phone now or we're on the internet, and some of us might meet, some of us might never meet, but we've already met. And the fact that we're making the connection that we're doing now, we've all known one another. And we've all been drawn to this place, this spot, in this exact moment in time, as we're all listening, right here now, for that reason, connect. And I'd be the one to answer your question. If I can't find out, I'll tell you. I'll come like I told Bakar, I said, I can't remember. I said, if I don't know, I'll come back and tell you. I have nothing, no reason to hide. Because I want you to know. It's important to know who you are. Like the lady said, well, about the Orisha. I'm hopeful that somebody be so enticed, so excited to find their way and say, oh, I'm going to get my money, how much I need to go to Nigeria. I want to go to Nigeria. I'm hopeful. If not that, start, okay, I have this kind of bad, I have this, to open to that third eye, so to speak, to awaken the spirit, to cleanse yourself. And this is something you do all the time. It's not something you do every now and again. I get in this club every day. I'm that dedicated to myself like that. Like I said, I'm a dog man. I'm a dog junkie. I love me a dog now. I can be walking down the street. I have a twist and turn quicker for a dog than I would for a woman. A woman, I'm walking for another. I'm respectful. If I see that dog, oh, wait a minute. Dog look at me and that tail might start wagging. We have to talk.
Hey, I have 4 more birthdays for you, if that's okay, before we get out of here. 4 more.
We can talk to me.
Okay, June 5th.
Gemini house. June 5th, that's a smart one. I say smart, but also can be a little gullible. Have to be very mindful of their habits. Because the 5 talks about the senses, the 5 senses, feel, touch, taste, all 5 senses, and sex and liquor and all those cardinal things will come into it. So they have to be mindful of themselves. Sex is one of them. And sex is a beautiful thing, but be mindful. Be mindful of what people tell you, that you just don't believe everybody. Because somebody can tell you, give you a line of bull, and you might say, yeah. Sounds right. It does sound right. But to be gullible is to, do you believe it? It has to be true.
Okay.
And at the same time, that person needs a lot of sleep. Number 5, please get sleep. Because you're not a fun person to be around because you didn't get your rest.
November 10th.
November 10th, that person has a strong personality. That's Scorpio. That one has, that's a very strong personality, very spiritual person. Might have a tendency to like to eat different things, as we all do, but they might have a habit of eating. I won't say eating disorder. Also a very dominant soul, wants to be in charge. If it's a man, definitely want to be a boss. If it's a woman, other women might not like her or like you at all because that one is a masculine vibration.
Okay.
You should have your own. You should have your own business if you can, and you can. I'm not saying to quit your job. I always believe in more than one stream of income to make you rich, make you very well. Like I got a whole bunch of different stuff to wash up. But he said, "Well, damn, I'll clean me one. I want it all. I want to keep myself clean in all directions. You should see me over here with this and that and the other. Put this, that, and the other, and scrub it up, scrub it up. I want to keep me right. I can't say you have to. You might look at me and say, you're crazy. I say, yeah, I might be, but I'm all right.
April 18th.
And again, it's an artistic card in the house. Aries, what's up? See, I know this off the top of my head. I'm not reading the book. April 18th, be mindful of people goading you into fights, or you can be a little argumentative at times. You know, you can be a little headstrong at times. And when I say at times, I'm being polite. Okay?
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, depending upon where your moon is, if your moon is in a place where it's not of strength, then that 18 as a 9 might make you be a little bit more assertive than you need to be. Again, one should know themselves and know what to do and how to do what, so they're not pulled out of pocket and be made, you know, I won't say do foolish things unnecessarily. But that person, the 18th of the Aries, very intelligent, also a genius, can do very creative things. If you don't believe in yourself, it's because you just don't. If you do, you should. You really should. But not to a fault where you have a what I call a superiority complex. Don't do that. Because 8 is a 9, 1 and 8 is 9, and Aries is ruled by 9. That's Mars. So you can be, like I said, take it easy with yourself. Your blood pressure. You know, I don't know how old you are, but you know, every now and again, put anybody can do this. Put a nutmeg in your mouth, and that'll bring your blood pressure
down. June 29. After you answer this one, I'm gonna tell you who they are. June 29.
June 29th. That is Cancer. Yeah, that's Cancer. That person, it's an interesting one, man. That one is that there are two opposition numbers that make up Cancer, that make up that birth date. You have both masculine and feminine, and that has nothing to do with your sexuality. That would only say there might be your own inner confusion of self. Okay, where you're trying to accomplish things, but you can be, they say, your own worst enemy because you haven't been taught, or you don't know, you don't believe, you don't trust. The same thing goes with people born on the 16th of the month, the 1 and the 6. Those 1 and the 6 and the 2 and the 9, they're opposition numbers. Opposite means they're like oil and vinegar within themselves, and that's where the confusion comes, or the lack of confidence, or the lack of progress, or whatever. And if you don't have the confidence in yourself, then you're not going to move it to a certain point.
Okay, those were my four. Those were my four. Those were my 4 children. And you know
really?
what? Yeah, I just you hit them on the head. November 10. Yes, you hit him on the head. Those are my 4 children.
Oh man! Okay.
You knocked it out the park. You knocked it out the park, Pat Benny.
Okay.
So, any more questions?
I'm sorry. I'm just saying, you know, because people ask me questions out of nowhere, and like things like right there on the tip of my tongue about this, that, and the other, because that's the geek or the nerd I've become as I've gotten older to know these things. And I've learned these things from a selfish point to help me. And I learned my lessons so well that I'm able to help others. That's the same thing what happened when I went to Nigeria. I ain't go there for anybody but myself. I ain't going there for nobody but my, I mean, I'm not, let's say, a selfish person. My boat hat wasn't rocking right. You know, life was not treating me kind as I wanted it to treat me. And I knew, as they say, the great escape, I knew the only way I was going to get me together was to go to where it began, Nigeria. The only way I was going to do that was become initiated for me. And by doing that, I was able to learn how to help others. I don't have to learn how to help others, but the skills became what I was doing and learning. I was able to do that. I even learned something I already knew. I relearned it. I think it was yesterday. I was talking to my father and how he was saying, you know, what I have to do, what you do to the earth. Because the earth is an orisha. The earth we walk on is orisha. I'm able to either use the tools in my altar, or go to the earth with whatever sacrifice I have to make, whatever. Call your name, that name they gave you at birth, and do what I have to do on the earth. Bingo, it will get to you. It will get you by which way you have the spirit will have it. I'm going to say this before, I guess, I don't know if we run out of time. I don't know if I said it before, or I might repeat sometimes the same story, because we always have new listeners. I have a cousin, and she's a church lady, which is a business, you know. And she heard my name. Her mother, who passed, she heard her mother tell her, call my name. And like a zombie, I just use the words. You can picture somebody hearing a voice in their head and just turn around and automatically go to the computer, go to Facebook to find somebody. Well, I wasn't on there, but my oldest son was on there. And he gave her my information, and we connected. So make a long story short, somebody gave her something to wear a hat. You gotta be mindful of people now. You gotta be really mindful of people. And I can't say that enough. You have to be almost to the point where you're paranoid. They say, oh, you're gonna do something to me? Oh, you're gonna try to do something. You gotta be paranoid. Anyway, she wasn't aware. Somebody gave her a hat or something to wear. And she plopped it on her head. And she got sick. And she got diarrhea. And she said it was coming out like water. And it wouldn't stop. She had to go to the hospital. And she called me from the hospital and told me. And mind, she don't believe nothing, so to say, so to speak. I went to the farm. I got some animals, and I came back. I called her name. I sacrificed those animals to Eshu. And that's all I can do is the priest to make the offering as I'm speaking to you guys, making the offering and saying, listen, this is so and so and so. It stopped immediately. The diarrhea stopped immediately, and the doctor asked her mind. She's hooked up to an IV in a veterans hospital. And the doctors came and they looked at her and said, what did you do? So she said, what do you mean, what did I do? She said, they said, this does not happen like this. She said, I know anything, I'm laying up here. You see me laying up here, I haven't gotten out of bed. She got out of bed and got herself together, and she was okay. And the doctors to this day, could not understand what happened with her. So, can you say, have I saved lives? Yeah. Through EP4? Yeah. Through the power of Almighty God, Ogundabade? Yeah. That's how it goes. That's how I go. As you always say, that's how I rock. I've even it, and the host of the show, he already knows we have a friend in common, and she was having problems. I said, you know what? I got something for all that down there. She's in another part of it. I'm not. Well, I said she's in Georgia because I'm not intentional, but some things are not supposed to be said, so I don't say them. because they don't bring them to me. Anyway, she's down there in Georgia, and I had to go to E5, and I took a goat to E5, female goat to E5, and I prayed, and I did what I had to do to get E5, and she became all right at that point. See, with anybody, you have to just keep doing it. Even myself, doing it. But for that point in time, she said, "Pa Benny, what did you do?" I said, "Sweetheart, I love you so much." Now, we have never had any physical contact. She's a sister to me. She's a friend to me. She's a good buddy to me. She's a very intelligent woman. When I say intelligent, I tip my hat to her any day. Any day. Any day. Is she younger than me? Yeah, but I give her all the respect in the world. Age is but a number. I don't know what age doesn't mean nothing. I'm still a little boy. I ain't never grew up.
Well, let me ask you one more before we get off of here. Forecast Radio say they told him, they say he's like his grandfather, but his grandfather died 3 to 4 years before he was even born.
That's possible. DNA.
Do that mean the grandfather came to him while his mom was pregnant? I'm just asking, like you were saying. Is that what that means?
Possibly. It's not impossible.
Oh, okay.
It's not. Listen, none of that's impossible. Let me tell you something. I don't remember what it was to be on the other side. I only remember here. I know I do have ways. I picked up ways from Africa, from the West Indies, which is only an African put in Africa. West Indies only Africa in the Caribbean. So if he reminds people of his grandfather was deceased before he got it, it's not impossible. But this is his trip. His grandfather might be continuing the trip, but this is his trip. That makes sense. He can't be his grandfather. His grandfather can't be him. But if he knows his grandfather's name, he should that's one of his ancestors, as we say in the Yoruba tradition, one of the Egungun. He should always pay tribute to that man. If you know where he's buried, go there and speak to him and take white rum or gin, preferably white rum, and talk to him. Call his name. You don't even have to call his name because you're already there. It's a grandpa, whatever his name, talk to him. Pour that rum on it. Take a swig after you pour it on him and give him the rest and talk to him. If he knows his grandfather, his name, that's one of his personal protectors. Could be. That's all I can. I can go on and on, but I don't have any change. I don't have my oracle here to say. Well, let me check something out. See, I don't know. Forecast will have to call me and talk to me so we can get personal, because people take on screen names on the internet so people can mind their business, so they don't be, the government name is not out there. I can't even do that for him on here because I don't know who he is like that. But here it's very possible.
Okay. But Wanda said, why do you get the ancestors rum? He said, why rum? Because that's his favorite drink. He probably drinking some right now. So, but he want to know, why do you get the ancestors? Why do you always say get the ancestors rum?
Because that's what they like, white rum.
That's what they like. They don't like the Jack Daniels.
Crazy.
They like white rum, but Wanda, y'all drinking different type of rum. But look, Baba Ogundabade, better known as Pa Bennett, he had called out to cook Bawana, because whenever he talking about taking a woman out, no, I'll go get some rice or some potato. He always talking about cooking. Forecast want to write. Matron is the reader. He done called out, he was right on topic with Anthony. So he's right on topic with me. So once again, y'all just need to get in line, follow orders. Get in line, follow orders. That's all y'all. That's what y'all got to do. He already told you what January 10, the 1 and the 0 mean. Delete, get in line, follow orders, Bawana. That's all y'all got to do.
Listen, I just want to say it's not because I have, and then again because I do have. You need to contact, and the things that I chart, no, say this, the soaps are not that expensive. They're not cheap, I'm not giving them away, but they will help you, they work. Other things I do might cost you more. But as I was telling you about your birthday, I'm as authentic with what I do as I am with your birthday. You know, how can I say, the cross you bear, the troubles you bear, the nonsense you're going through, don't really have to be that, don't have to be like that. And a lot of times you don't even know you're going through until you do something. So I went to a shop one day years ago, and I got this perfume or cologne, whatever it was. I remember doing it. I don't know why I purchased it, but again, Spirit had me purchase it. Everything is, you got it. Something's guiding you one way or the other. And I put this stuff on me, on my neck, my ears, whatever, like you do perfume. And I could feel something whip off me. It was so dramatic. It stopped and I said, oh my God. Same as the time I told you the story, I was sitting by, I was tired, I was in Queens College, sitting at the base of the tree waiting for the bus to come. I was tired as hell. When I got up off that ground and went to the bus, the weight had lifted off me. And so much so, I turned around and said thank you to the tree. I wasn't stupid. See, so whoever asks the question, do I know about a superior being, what all that? God is in every place. The earth you walk, the water you drink, the air you breathe, the music you hear. He's everywhere. Or she's everywhere if you want to put it like that, because what's the reason you have male and female reach? It's not like, and if you notice, in the year 2000, look how many women are coming into place. Vice president. More women are starting to rule things. And rightly so. As rightly so. They're trying to keep people from crossing the border. They're coming where they belong. They were here first. You can't stop the ebb and flow of the tide, the ocean, the moon. And I don't think you're going to do it human. As Malcolm said, why should I eat crumbs that I'll have nothing? And you're sitting there with plenty. And throwing food away. It's going to change. It's changing before. They're panicking. I don't know why. You got to make room. Make room. So you got to make room. And you do it in a way where you don't be, don't be so negative. Understand that people, everybody wants to live. Everything wants to live. When I do sacrifice, I pray before I do it. And then I make the offering. And then that food, what it is given out for people to eat. I get a goat, skin them to the butcher, cut them up. I gave it to people to eat. Oh, there you go. This is good. Oh God, that's good meat. It was that kind of a special animal. Anyway.
The goat is good.
We're in a culture where the European has done a job on our subconscious psyche, and we're not even aware of it.
I tried to tell them.
Not even aware of it. Men will marry children. Men will marry women that are very young. I remember my cousin telling me at a funeral. He said, always get a woman younger than yourself. I guess that was out saying this to people. Not to me, but I heard him. I mean, other people were there, but I guess the spirit put it in my hand. And very young. They can be young enough to be your daughter, your granddaughter. How the young lady said to me, now that you know how old I am, does it matter? There's nothing I could say. But in this culture that we live in, You're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to do that. There's so many don'ts and do's and don'ts and do's. It's not even funny. In this culture, in this one, it's going pot sometimes. Go ahead. And no, I don't have guns and bombs. I'm not trying to overthrow the government or somebody. You know, I'm not into all of that. I'm not trying to hurt nobody like that. The revolution will not be televised. I forget who said it back in the day. The revolution will not be televised. I'm marching through it each and every day. People crazy in the street, shooting up and carrying on. The revolution will not be televised. All you gotta do is turn on the television or go outside, walk around. It's right there. I forget who said it. I have to find who said that. Said it back in the 70s. He's a poet.
Jill Scott Heron.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're right. Ah, that's why Bakari and I get along so damn good.
I play it sometime, yeah. But if you got anything else, if not, we can talk and we can do it. We're gonna do another one next week, and we'll be talking to let everybody to let it know what it's about.
All right, and I'm gonna think of topics, and everybody can ask questions now.
Yeah, y'all can email.
Like numerology. Numerology is fine. It's entertainment. It's good, and it's real. And it's real. I didn't know I was knocking everybody on the head with the birthdays because it's real. But I'm gonna entice you or ask you and hope you to contact me to get some of the products that I get from Africa. That will help your spirit. That will help you. You want to make some money? You want to rise up? You want to feel good? That's the only thing I can tell you. Because they definitely work. If not, just give them to myself. I mean, people are buying them left and right. I mean, I have to keep ordering and ordering them. But I mean, I have to pay twice. I have to pay the man to make them, and I have to pay DHL to bring them. But it's a service for myself, but it's really to help other people also. Because what I have, you're not going to get on a shelf in a store. You can go to the store, and the guys that are there, it's not at a wholesale market where they can go and get it and then turn around and resell it. It's not. Okay, I'm done.
All right. We'll be back next week. Talk to you later, my good brother Pi Benny, Baba Ogundabade.
Ogundabade.
I have to say it slow. Ogundabade. I don't say it right.
All right. Okay. I'll let you say it your way. If you know, and I'm not on some ego trip where something has you say tomatoes, that was tomatoes. I know who you're talking about. No problem.
And I thank y'all for tuning in. Hope y'all enjoyed. Go ahead. You got something you want to say to me before you go?
No. I'm gonna say I appreciate being here and you folks receiving me the way you do. And write down questions. If there's a question I say like I don't know, I'll find out. If something you want to know more about, ask me. It's not a problem.
Yeah. And if y'all interested in what he want to talk, if y'all know something that you all want to hear him talk about, email me. I'm gonna put my email in the chat again. I don't know if y'all who all got it. And we can make that happen too. Because it ain't just coming on for me and for him. It's for us. It's for us. It's about us using this to our benefit, working together as a people. And I know y'all listening now because he just told y'all I'm the leader, so that means y'all gonna get in line.
Well, and what you should do is tell your friends. A lot of times, I don't remember who told me. Oh, I remember now. Somebody fell out with somebody because they was talking about African spirituality, and somebody was a Christian. Well, what is a Christian but a Jew? And what is a Jew but an African? They talk about being anti-Semitic. And white people run around and talk about being Jews. We are those people that they claim to be. I try not to go there and get into all that because that's diverse. That's just a bunch of nonsense. But I was working at a place. I was at the airport where there's so many people. LaGuardia Airport. and I was working as a skycap. And the guy who owned the company, who hired the skycaps out to the airline, came to me. He said, "Pie," he said, "where you get such a good Jewish name?" And I stopped. I looked at him. I said, "Maybe because deep down inside, that's what I am." That big red, that man, he turned as red as a beet. His eyes bugged out his head. His wife cracked up. "Well, why ask me that?" I'm telling you, ask me a true thing. I'm giving you an answer. I simply said, because maybe deep down inside, that's what I am. And he knew damn well I was telling the truth. He knew it. So when you hear all this nonsense about anti-Semitic and the Jews and the a bunch of craziness, what they're doing over there in Israel, they took that land from those people in 1948, 9, or whatever it was, and gave it to them. People out of Europe gave it to them. And these people here built them up to them now, telling people over there to kill them and carry it on the way they're doing. They should be ashamed of themselves, acting like that's their land. The only thing that's keeping them there is a gun, violence. Anyway, that's another story. So that's the media Aquarius talking, the revolution.
Yeah.
Jill Scott Aaron, you read about that thing?
Yeah, that's it. Jill Scott Aaron. Yeah, the revolution would not be televised. Would not be televised. Would not be televised. Would not be televised.
I'm laughing because that's what it said.
Ain't that how he said it?
Yep. And you know, the torch being passed on, because from that generation of mine to your generation there, still carrying it on. Gil is gone. I'm still here. And and Bakari reminded, I couldn't remember the guy's name, but I knew what was said. And Bakari speaking like he was right there. So that's a transfer of knowledge, transfer of energy going on right now. What I'm getting from Nigeria didn't just happen. It ain't just make it up yesterday. It didn't. Y'all better wake up, everybody. That think of Teddy Pendergrass and Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. Y'all better wake up. Okay. Let me go.
All right. I'm going to give you a call tomorrow.
Okay, Bakari. You take care. It's good talking to you, buddy.
Good talking to you too, my man.
Anytime.
All right. Peace out.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody have anything specific that they want to discuss with Baba next week, that's my email. Y'all can email me and we can have that discussion. If anybody want to be on the panel when Baba is on the phone, I'm trying to get him to learn how to come on YouTube. He say somebody got to be there with him to show him exactly how to do it, because he want to come up on the panel, which would be great. But if anybody, that's my email. If y'all have anything that y'all want to discuss, y'all let me know. And on that note, y'all remember, be black, buy black, think black, love black. Everything else will take care of itself. Peace and one love.